Are you an angel?
I heard your prayers, Sarah.
I think the church's prayers have gone unanswered.
God stopped listening to us a long time ago.
Do not be afraid.
Evening. Gonna bring Aaron on already. Let's
Hello.
jump into this. What's up, Aaron? How you doing, man?
Good so far. How are you?
Good. You sound good. Look good. How's my? Do I sound
thank
fine?
you. Yes.
Cool. I'm always paranoid about the technical issues here. So wow, cool. Okay, so first, I love your background. You're a true D&D guy. The dungeon is, dude. I saw you like I don't know, on a live stream or something, and I'm like, I like the background. That's cool. Yeah, I'm like, this guy's serious about his D&D.
This was done by a friend of mine who does mural paintings. He does them for like museums, firefighting department, the town. So yeah, he does all over the Midwest. He does murals, and I happen to know him. And I was telling him I wanted to. I was going to change my show, and I wanted a theme for my show. And the whole idea was like, well, pop culture is, everybody's bitching about pop culture. Well, this demon of despair loves that. He's like, yes, I want you upset and hate everything. And so he overhears me on one of my podcasts or whatever, and he's like, I'm talking positive about indie stuff, and he's like, no, I need to put you away in a prison so that nobody can hear your message, right? And then so to fight back against him, I'm like, joke's on you, asshole. You're trapped in here with me, and I'm like, I'm going to continue interviewing, reviewing, and talking to as many indie creators as I can. So
that's cool.
Anyways, he was like, dude, I'll do a dungeon scene for you. I was like, yes, please. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I
actually, he modeled it after He-Man. I threw some He-Man Castle Grayskull pictures at him. Yeah, exactly. And he was like, dude, you got it. He fucking airbrushed it up. Yeah, so
that's cool, man. It's again, it's just, you can't mistake it. It's like, if D&D, you're like, that's a fucking dungeon.
That's a fucking dungeon.
That's when I knew you were a serious D&Der. And so, like I said, I don't know you. It's the first time I've met you. I don't really know you that well, but I do know that you still play D&D, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So that's where we're going to start off, because we're gonna get to your campaign, but the two questions I have at first is one, how long have you been playing for? And two, what edition do you play?
Good questions. I have played off and on for roughly 30 years. Wow. And I've had a very dedicated table for the last probably 15 or 20. I don't know, something like that. Yeah. And at least with like three or four main players, they've been consistent for at least, like I said, 10, 15 years. So
wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Straight rock. And I'm talking like almost every weekend, almost every Saturday or Sunday, we get together. Now, obviously, people's work schedules or like life events and shit, but we always come back down to it, so it's fun.
Yeah. And then what edition do you play?
We started off at 2nd edition.
Okay.
And then so that we played that for a while. I don't know, 5 or so years. I'm not sure. And then one of the players had a ton of 3.5 books, and we had kind of gotten to a point in our gaming, our table where it was like we played the same, consistent storyline for a very long time, and we had come to a place where it's like, actually, we could stop, we could do it was like, are we gonna keep playing as a table? People's lives are changing. Somebody's having a kid or whatever else, and so they were like, yeah, let's keep going. And only this time, to make it more interesting, because we kind of hit the peak on 2nd edition. Let's try 3.5. I was like, let's do it, dude. Teach me how to play. And that's how we did it. I was at that time, I was the forever DM. I was like, you guys got to teach me how to play as we go. And
wow, you weren't a player? You never a player? You were never a player?
Well, I was, but for a long time I was like the main DM on our table. Yeah. Right. But I had played at other tables. Every now and again somebody else would DM like their own thing. But then probably 10 years ago, roughly, everybody started, except for one player. He doesn't want to DM, but otherwise, like, we'll switch off. Be like, okay, now you can DM, for a year or whatever, and then when I get the urge again, I'll take over, or that guy will take over. So it's fun. It's real fun.
You sound like you got a good group. Like, they sound cooperative.
Solid group. Yeah,
that's rare.
One of our players moved to Hawaii for a job, and he just Discords in.
Wow. That's cool. So, yeah, I was going to say, when you guys play, are you in person, gathered around a table, or is there like online shit? And
it's a mix. Yeah, I've got like three live guys come over to my house. Okay. Somebody's son will come over to play with my kids, and sometimes I grill, or like chili or something. Yeah, we'll buy pizza, all that kind of stuff.
Turkey legs. Pints of ale.
Sometimes, not going to say no. And then, like I said, I got the one friend who's been working out of Hawaii for about 1.5 years or something like that. Wow. Now. So he'll Discord in, or if somebody's sick, or like, oh shit, this happened, but I can still make it, if we just, we'll just computer in or whatever. So
yeah, cool, man. So okay, so we'll ease into we'll connect this to your campaign. So your it's on IndieGoGo, and now this is your second book, the second campaign, right?
Yes.
So okay, when did the first one come out?
About 1.5 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was it was just called Immortal Rising 1, or?
Yeah, it was Immortal Rising Part 1, The Calling. And then this one is Burnt Offerings.
Burnt Offerings, yeah. Okay.
Now, I am selling the first one and the second one again. In fact, the first one, I have a new cover by Corey Barton. He's doing the cover. He's doing a guest cover. So
cool.
Pretty fun.
Corey, what was he? God, what was his book? Was it Kozor or something? What was that?
Kordrath.
That was like 2-3 years ago, right?
Him and I think his brother's name is
Clayton. Yeah, the Barton brothers.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. They did one together, but he does a lot of commission work from what I can tell. And then I think they're doing one Andromenoids. I think that's what his current thing is, like, for him himself.
I just remember, I again, time. I get all confused with time. I'm thinking roughly 2 years ago, where I just remember seeing his illustration. I believe it was the main barbarian in Kordrath. He was it had like a lot of like greenish and dark and shit too. You know what I'm talking about, right? There was this illustration with the axe and shit, and I'm just like, that's fucking bad. That's D&D. You know what I mean? And I hadn't seen a lot of fantasy medieval type stuff in the comics. Like one here and one there, but nothing. What I mean? And I was like, oh, this dude knows. He knows what he's doing. You know
He gets it. Yeah.
yeah. And then like, you know, same with like you. And so, okay, so these books, this story of yours, was this like inspired by or like heavily taken from your D&D group?
Yes, it's very heavily taken from it. Basically, what I did was I tried to condense down and turn it into a palatable story. Because if you've ever played, and I want to ask you about that, but so if you've ever played in your own group and stuff, you know, like there's going to be side stuff that happens or things that like readers, you know, like just like readers aren't going to give a shit about. But so I cut all the other stuff out. And I just tried to tell the core of the story, and the starting of it all is you know, you've got a major plot going on, right? Like a meta plot, but the real core of the story is that it is about these strangers, these 5 strangers who are forced to come together to overcome, you know, the war that's going on around them. They have to not only fight the monsters without, but also within each other's, you know, relation. Like they have to form a hierarchy, they have to form a working relationship, and that's kind of or I would say that's the main plot of the first 3 books. You know, that's the overall arc, is like these guys have to figure out how to work together to survive. You know,
cool. That's cool. Good, because some not necessarily comics, but like whatever, film or TV shows.
Sure, entertainment. Yeah.
It seems like it's either too heavy on the drama romance bullshit, and that's cool, but let's not make this a fucking drama romance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or it's just that icing on the cake shallow, where it's like, yeah, it's nothing but action and monsters and killing and rah, rah, rah. And there's like, you don't like, there's not a whole lot of character depth, a whole lot of, you know, character story arc. They're just kind of flat. Yeah. You're like, well, I don't really give a shit about these people. And it's so it's cool when you have that. It sounds like you have that balance where it's like, okay, there's some, you know, cool shit going on in here in battles, but the people have their issues and things to overcome, and especially with each other and love. That's very cool. I think that's cool.
I think I found a good balance on that. Because like some of the reviews I've had, some of the people who talking about it, you know, they wanted to spend more time with like certain scenes, you know, like they wanted to see more of those characters because they enjoyed being there. And I really think that, there's, you know, a lot of characters kind of going on in the first one, but each one has a very unique voice, a very unique feel and aura. And, you know, over time, you get to see them kind of mix better. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of like, I wanted to have a lot of action, but that's not the point. You know, I was coming into this kind of like, I wanted to put a fantasy novel into a comic book format. So I'm going to have, you know, some of the, like the narration is going to go a little bit into, you know, describing some things with a little bit of you know, poetic license to it, but at the same time, each character, I know their full story. Like I know where they came from, I know where they're going and how they end up. So it's like, to me, it's just kind of like writing for like describing old friends in a way, you know? And I think that comes through in the story.
And okay, so that brings to the next question. These characters are based on your friends' characters, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
loosely.
Mostly. Are these characters that your friends played? Is it similar to them, like in reality, like real people, or is it like completely different? Like, is the, you know what I'm saying? Because you have 2 types of groups, and I will. We're gonna, after we talk about your campaign, I've got IndieGoGo, your IndieGoGo page up. We're gonna go from top to bottom. You tell me what you want to focus on, what you want to talk. So we'll go through your whole campaign, and then when we're done with that, we're gonna jump back to just D&D shit.
I want to talk to you about it. You seem like you know what you're doing,
dude.
Whoa, you got it right there. Look at that. That's a classic.
This was printed in 78, man.
Yeah.
1978. I have all the first edition shit, dude. So
Dang.
we'll go back to that, but I want to make sure we go over your campaign first, because that's kind of to me, that's like the priority. It's like, okay, you got a current campaign, IndieGoGo, and it's doing good. It's like 3,035 spore or something. It's
we're at, I think we just hit 3,800 today. So.
Yeah, okay. So you're going on 4, and it's like cool. You know, I everyone wants to keep going higher, and so that's kind of the priority to talk about, which is why we'll do that first. But then we can kind of like once the job is over of this, we can relax and kick back and talk all the D&D shit. You know what I'm saying?
Sounds good.
And again, you let me know how long you want to go for. I shoot for an hour, but dude, I swear to God, it always goes an hour and a half or whatever. So if you have time constraints, just give me the signal. Let me know.
I'll give you a heads up. Yeah.
But let's try to do like an hour to an hour and a half, and I think that gives enough time to go over your campaign and to swap D&D stories and all that shit.
Yeah, sounds good.
Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me get this. Hang on. Let me share screen. Where are we? Okay. There's that. Boom. All right. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so you can see that, right? We're good.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So this is you. Okay, so IndieGoGo, Immortal Rising. Okay, you want to play this trailer first, or what?
Actually, so you asked me a question, and then we kind of went off on a tangent. But so you said, are the characters kind of based on the players? Is kind of what you're talking about. And actually, yes, some of the players' personalities are written into the comic as well. So like they're early 20-somethings, and there's some kind of tension there, like, well, because they're fighting for a hierarchy, how young men are, that kind of stuff. Yeah. And I put that into the book as well. So
cool.
Like they start off really immature, and as trauma and life happens to them, they have to overcome all that stuff, and not only overcome that immaturity, but also kind of figure out how to deal with each other's eccentricities.
Okay.
Like for instance, so the main character is Drake Hardy. He's a elven ranger.
Cool.
And he has to escort these twin princes of his kingdom on like this mission to go hunt for a wild boar, a dire boar, to bring home to this festival that's going on. So the princes are there, and it's not just him, there's a few other rangers, and this is like their graduation into rangerhood, right? They're all basically first levels, and so they go off on this escort mission. But as they're going out there, it's like their differences are obvious in their personalities, right?
Okay.
Like the ranger doesn't come from money. The ranger has lived and breathed in the forest forever, whereas like princes are more powder on the bottom. One of them, the firstborn, gets whatever he wants. You kind of get that feeling, like no woman tells him no, kind of thing. And so their personalities are very different and do tend to clash. It's like, no, I'm in charge. Well, yeah, but I have to be in charge because of so there's a lot of kind of conflict that's really helps propel the story, in my opinion.
Okay. And then leading it with this topic, is your character in this story?
I was the DM. So
so you don't really so you don't have any character like representing you in the story.
I was all of the other characters. So cool. I mean, technically yes, but yeah. Okay,
that's cool. So let's play
this self-insert, put it that way.
I was gonna say, because I've heard that. I never heard that term until I got involved in the indie comic situation. And I'm like, okay, wow, cool. I'm like, I didn't realize it was a problem, but according to some, it's a problem. And I'm like,
self-insert fantasies, sure.
I don't know, man. Because I self-inserted my shit, my fucked stories. I mean, I'm a character. I'm not the main one, but I'm in there. You know,
as long as the story is good, then who cares?
And I mean, who's the judge of that? Your readers, and so it's like,
Right.
okay, cool. But it's like, I always kind of, I like movies and stories where there's at least one character I can kind of relate to, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I can't like relate to anyone in this story or movie or TV show, or whatever, I'm just like, sorry, man. You know, I'm like, is that a bad? Am I being selfish or there's got to be other people that feel the same way, right? I mean, don't you want to, like, you know, when this, you know, I'm saying it makes it more, whatever, dramatic. You feel it more. You're like, oh, fuck, I know what you're saying, brother. I hear you. Lost.
I know what you're going through. Yes.
Right. And so to me, it's just like it's like a default natural thing to put yourself in your own story, because it's like, well, I know what the fuck I'm talking about because of this story.
Well, they say what you know. Yeah.
Kinda. And again, I get not being the main character. I get that. Yeah, you know, if you're the superhero, okay, well, maybe, you know, you got a little ego problem there. But even so, I've seen so much ripping on that whole self-insert thing, and I'm just like, is it really that bad? It's your story, man. It's like,
I don't know.
I mean, right? It's like, I don't know, whatever.
I made a joke out of it on my own channel when I would interview creators and stuff. I have a character. I was telling you, the demon guy. Well, I would have little clips where he would make comments, and one of the comments is like, "Oh, this is a self-insert," you know, and it's hilarious because I like to play it for when it's clearly it's not, you know. And, I don't know, it's funny.
That's cool. That's cool. Okay, so let's play your trailer. Let me see. Hang on. I'm gonna let me see if I can. I hate screwing with these screens, man. Again, I'm still a little. You know, I've done this for 2 months, and I only do it once a week.
Even if you bumble through it, you still get through it.
Yeah. Let's see here. There's us. All right. I'm just gonna do. Oh, there we go. Let's try this, baby. And I'll see if I can do this full screen. Hold on here.
Yeah.
Can this go full screen? Let me see. You don't see it. The option. All right.
I'll find you, Locutus, my creator. From your chaotic bones I shall make my order.
Hell yeah.
Congratulations, recruits.
I'm so excited.
I don't want to babysit two spoiled princes.
I need to make a good impression for the soldiers. This is a silly waste of time.
What? Is that my long-lost magic ruby? Empress, find my ruby.
Your will is my command, my master. We're invading Terra to find Balmain's ruby.
Go forth, save the innocent, and punish the wicked. Yes, Father. I have an easy life. But is that all there is?
The ruby could win this war once and for all. Let's kick the nest and see what falls out.
Locutus calls to his creations for help.
Where are we?
What are those things? We have to get out of here.
Have the gods gone mad?
The Bomanites have invaded Terra. Has the last shard of Locutus' heart been found?
The war cannot continue without the heart. We can't risk losing it if it's there.
You've come to the wrong place. Terra is under my protection.
Hell yeah.
Dude, that's cool, man.
Thank you.
I like it. Hang on. Let me see.
Having fun with it.
There we go. Okay, we're back to normal. Awesome. Let me get this. Okay. Dude, I love trailers. I love fucking trailers because my background's film. It's not comics. It's not.
Right on.
I was a film production major in college and art minor. To me, art was always a hobby. I didn't start taking it seriously until I was like 30. And I'm like, wow, I can make money on this. And so I started doing commercial work in the fucking normal industry, you know.
Yeah.
And but film was always my love, and photography. So it was like film, photography, and drawing. That's fucking and writing and fucking everything else, you know. So everything any story I do, I see it like a movie. I see the movement, I hear it, there's soundtrack, all this shit, right? But then, you know, so then now you have comics, okay, and there's just visuals, you know, there's no sound, there's no sound effects, there's no voices, there's no shit. It's just, you know, you're fucking reading and seeing pictures.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You know, that's cool. But with trailers, dude, it's one step close to like a movie. And it like is. Your trailer, you have the voices, and I love that shit, dude. I'm working on that now. I'm like trying to get more variety of voice actors and actresses for like my next trailer, because now I'm starting to assign voices for certain characters. And so again, with the trailers,
if there's a voice that I could meet for you, I would be happy to help out. Yes. I'm waiting to do some work for Frost Comics as well. So it's kind of like, you know, hopefully I'll be able to get in there. So
obviously I'll keep it, you know, we'll keep in touch. And I'm not, it may be next year, but
that's,
you know,
hey,
we don't have a lot left.
Keep me in
We
mind.
don't have much this year. Already like 2-3 months of this next year. So, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I will definitely mark that. I mark you down my little list of potential voice.
And I'm only saying that because I've been told since I started online, you know, videos and stuff like that, that I have a radio voice. So if there's anything that I could help contribute with, just give me a holler. I would love to help out. I really like creating and doing art and everything. So
I totally appreciate it, dude. That's cool. And yeah, you do have like a radio voice. You know, it's not too deep, like, you know, it's not, you know, you know, like I've got this nasally fucking voice, you know, because I fucking sinuses. I hate my fucking voice, but I just, you know, I'm too old to give a shit now. You know what I mean?
I mean, what can you do?
But yeah, but I am not like, yeah, I do some voice acting for my own stuff, but it's me, you know what I mean? But you definitely have a nicer sounding voice than I do. So thanks for the offer, and chances are I will take you up on it, because it's actually kind of rare to find voice actors and actresses in our arena, you know?
Yeah. So, well, and so I used Good Stuff Studio. They were the ones that did the voice acting and all that.
Oh, cool. That's cool.
I don't know if you know Good Stuff or not, but
I've probably seen them, and that's about it. Like, I don't really know them, you know what I mean?
Sure.
But okay, so trailer, awesome. And dude, the other thing, you show a lot in your trailer, man. There's a lot of images.
Yes. Yeah, there is. Thank you.
Good for you. Because
I wanted to tell the story. So with the second campaign, I just wanted to say, you know, what has come before, where the story is at now. So that's, you know, whatever that takes, that's what I wanted. And I wrote up a short script and gave it to Good Stuff. And I think that it explains without all the extra setting minutia and you know, the extrapolated, you know, character scene, you know, intro scenes, because you get that when you get the book. So
yeah, true. I know I've seen some trailers that really don't show a lot of the art, you know, with all the bells and whistles and bullshit on iPhones and every other fucking thing. People can get carried away with animation and videos, and I'm just like, well, where's the fucking artwork, man? It's like, okay, there's a cover and there's 1 or 2 interiors, but is that it? You got to show. So I think people can get. They don't understand a trailer. You know, a trailer is supposed to obviously explain the story, at least basic, and show the imagery, man. Show the artwork. You know, show the characters. Say this chick, this hot chick, you know, like the Empress, you know, because I know everyone loves that fucking blue picture of her bent over.
They do.
Everyone's a bunch of horny bastards in comic status.
Yeah.
You know, so there's certain characters, you know, and it amazes me how a lot of people kind of miss that with their trailers. It's just like, it's a simple summary. And again, it's just like, dude, go back to the good old days when movies were good. Right? 10, 20, 30 years ago. Don't you remember those trailers for, you know, Star Wars and all that shit? When you saw them, it's like you were like, oh Christ, look what's happening. But yet you're still like, wow, I don't understand really what's going on, but this is fucking cool. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta see that. Yeah.
and people kind of, a lot of people miss that. But, a lot of people nail it, and I think you did. You're one of them. You get it.
Yeah.
But again, you are one who shows a lot of the imagery, and a lot of people don't. So that was cool to see too. What else? Like I said, I think trailers are cool. I know a lot of people don't like them. I don't like trailers. It's like, fuck, dude, it's like a fucking mini movie. How can you not like this? I mean, right? Am I crazy, man?
No, I completely agree. And that's, that I kind of had that that feeling going in and having the trailer done too. It's like, I want you to feel like you basically have an idea of what's going on. And if that looks cool to you, then you're gonna buy.
Exactly. That's how I see it. So okay, so
and with like Jose Garcia's work, dude, I want to show off as much as I can.
Yeah. There's a lot you want to show. In fact, like I make my own trailers, and I have to pick and choose. And you got to be careful because you don't want to ruin shit. You don't want to show an image of something that they're like, "Holy shit, they die!" That kind of thing. You're like, you want to show more, but sometimes you can't because it's gonna spoil shit. So
exactly. Yeah, it's true.
So Immortal, right? Okay, so it's been going. You guys, you got 16. Okay, 16 days left. Yep. Okay. Yeah, man, your numbers are good. You're doing good. So let's see. Okay, yeah. I've seen this cover. Oh, this is cool. This must be a new one.
So who did these? The cover to number 2. So the blue Empress for number 1 is done by Corey Barton.
Okay.
And this cover for number 2 is done by Jimmy Reyes and Andrea Gardino.
Okay. I know Reyes, but I don't know if I know Andy.
Gardino does colors for a lot of role-playing games.
Oh, cool.
So it seemed apropos.
I was going to say, man, anyone who's got anything to do with role-playing games is definitely what you'd want. So okay, Floppy and Ash.
And then on this one, I'm offering it's the premium's story. I cut them in half. I removed some of the extra art. Because the story itself, Immortal Rising has 2 stories. Maybe you picked some of that up. You've got the main story, which is like first level guys, and then you also have a secondary story, which is 10 pages, where that follows like the god level characters. So it's a little Clash of the Titans, where you get to see like the meta story from the god's perspective, and then you get to see like Perseus, he has no idea what's going on. That's the first level adventure. So I took those premiums, I cut them in half, removed the extra art, and I'm putting them into the floppies. So putting it as pretty much at cost as I can. Just to get don't worry about price. Like just pick it up if it looks good to you. You should have no reason not to buy it.
Yeah, that's cool. I like the black and white, dude. I am more and more getting into the black and white shit, dude.
So that was done. Me and Jose worked together for a anthology for Arrow Comics. It was a comic called Out of Obscurity, where there was like a handful of writers and artists who aren't really known, and that was a project that was funded over a year now. Anyways, that one is not. It's not fantasy. Oh, well, it's not like medieval fantasy. It's like future dystopian. And the idea behind that is it's about 7 pages, I think. And it's in this future where this nanobiotech virus, has taken over humanity, has taken over the world. And 2 of the last surviving humans, the girl is infected with the virus.
Okay.
So they go on a quest basically to the skyscraper tower where the mad scientist who created the virus was last known to be, and they're there looking for a cure to the virus. And hijinks happen. I just say things don't go as planned, right? They're not very simple.
It can't. And then there's no story.
Yeah, there's no conflict. And then so the other ash can is the Immortal Rising Tales number 1, and that one was in Anvil magazine number 2.
Okay.
So only in the magazine there was no cover. So now I put a cover on it, or had asked Jose to, and that one is a story. It's in universe, but has nothing to do with the main Immortal Rising or Knights of Locutus kind of stuff. But
Okay.
it is in universe. And
That's cool.
that one's about this like veteran, grizzled, magical warrior
Mhm.
who he's basically you find out that he was hired, spoiler, to track down this girl who was kidnapped by an evil cult. So he takes on the cult and finds out that the girl's soul is not, has been taken to the spirit world. And so he must travel to the spirit world to retrieve her soul. And again, things do not go as planned.
Right. That's cool. Okay, meet the team. Wow.
There's a lot.
You,
yeah.
Jose, yep. Jimmy, yep. Corey, yep. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, a lot of those. So Chris Fisk, you might know, he does Infinitel Comics or Infinitel Chronicles. That's it.
Okay.
And he actually helped me out a lot
Mm-hmm.
with the graphic design.
Okay.
And one of the reasons that it took me about a year and a half to do the second campaign is because I asked him to teach me Photoshop. So
wow,
I could make all the graphics and everything myself, and do my own campaign page and stuff like that. So he's a great buddy.
That's cool. Yeah, I know. There's you. I know Jimmy because it's Dragon Rage, right?
Yep, Dragon Rage.
Corey Barton, the Barton brother. I think I know Jose.
Yeah.
What?
Well, Jose did one of the.
I know the name. He's probably done a lot of shit, right?
He did Crimson Rin for Clownfish TV.
Okay.
He did their book. He's also done Tiger Blue for Darren Wagner. Yeah. And he does commission work for a lot of different guys right now.
I just know that he pops up all the time on my feed.
Nice.
And so, wow, dude. So world map artist, cool back cover, right? Yeah, you got a crew. Holy shit!
I've been at this for a few years, so
I hear you.
Like I had the book done by Coparosa. He did the original version of the first issue, and it was only while I was waiting for that to finish that I met Jose, and had him do the Knights of Locutus story, and so kind of. Long story. I had Jose do issue 2, but I lost track of the original artist, and then so I had all this Jose art, and I'm like, well, I need continuity of art. So hey, Jose, will you just redo the first issue for me? And he did. So
cool.
That's what I sold on my first campaign.
Awesome. Yeah. Wow. And then 2 prunes. Okay, here 2 ash cans. Well, okay, so this is like a nice everything.
That's
okay, there you
everything.
Go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and a shirt. So
I like from a graphic point of view. I like this. I like how I just like this. You have your logo,
nice.
The frame.
Thank you.
The colors are warm and taverny. That's what's important, dude. Torchlight, firelight. That's fucking D&D. You know what I'm saying? It's like in browns, golds, bronze. You get it. Yeah, you get it.
Thank you.
It's good to see because I see a lot of fantasy. That's really pink and purpley. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, oh, fuck, I get it. It's cool, but
there is a little bit of the pink and purple.
Hey, I got pink and purple in my sunsets. When I draw, dude, I love all colors, all fucking colors, right?
But I will say this, with Jose's color ability, it's like it's gorgeous to even look at. It doesn't matter,
Yeah.
But with like the browns and the bronzes. Yes, that was a definite choice on my part for the brand.
Good choice. All right, here's the crew. Okay, meet the heroes. So, you mentioned Drake Hardy. He's the Elven Ranger, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yes. And then you've also got Dareth. He's the firstborn prince.
Is he Elven? Are they all elves?
Not all of them, but there are a few elves, and then they are transported to another world. Where there are no elves, there's mainly humans and like lizard people. So it's a bit of a culture shock.
Now, elves. Do you have your elves broken down to different races of elves, or just elves in general? Because there's wood elves, there's wild elves, there's gray elves.
I just kind of do like a
general elf.
general elf, yeah, and then there's also like I consider them dark elves, which would be the blue. The blue empress is actually a dark elf.
Yeah, the drow, whatever the hell you want to call it. Yeah. You got to have the dark elves. They're cool as shit.
And actually, I turned her blue because
is this her?
It was based on no. I turned her blue because it was based on. I wanted to kind of like hint at the I can't remember the race, but they're from Voltron. The invading race on Voltron was actually kind of the inspiration for some of the choices of the bad guys.
Okay. And this, who's this? Oni Miller?
Yeah, Onai is a character that will be introduced. He'll be the wizard of the group. He's introduced in this book. So he's not in the first one, and I introduced him in this one. So,
and here, Muhammad.
Yeah, Muhammad. He is the cleric of the party. I really he's gotten a lot of attention. A lot of people like him. They're like, man, he's a badass. So you will be seeing more of him, and it's cool because a lot of modern religious characters. It's like, oh, well, but the church is evil, right?
Right.
Well, and that's not the case in this point. You know, the church is actually good. He is a good dude. Cool. He has his flaws. Don't get me wrong. He's not perfect. But at the same time, you know, he's standing for what is good and true and right.
That's
just
cool.
So
like a crusader almost.
Yeah, very similar to that. Yeah. You know, in a world with vampires and shit. So
right. So all of your wow. Okay. Yep.
And I do, kind of like a sales pitch, quick recap of, what to expect in the issue.
As in, like here, or where are we?
That page right there, where it's like,
all this?
The burnt offerings. I kind of go into what's going on.
Gotcha.
Go down, where it's like, the Bamonite invasion has begun.
Gotcha.
So that happened in the first one. And then now in the second one, they have to deal with it.
Perfect. All right. Gotcha. The Knights of
Locutus.
Additional. This is like in this book?
Yes. So like I was saying, the main story is 34 pages. That's the low level guys, right? If you play role playing, the first level group. And then the Knights of Locutus is also in that book. And that follows the gods and kind of their perspective,
high level.
Their point of view, because they have to figure out what's going on as well. And then we get to see the full story through both parties' eyes.
That's cool. Yeah,
it's very unique. I don't know anybody else is doing anything like that. So
that's cool.
It's fun as hell too. I love being able to write from two perspectives.
Yeah, this is kind of crazy. What's this battle picture?
So during
one-eyed Jawas, man.
So when the first one has the invasion of these monsters, right? This evil empire, and we see in the second one that at least their invasion troops, this group is a bunch of monsters, like goblins and an ogre, and we see them attacking a village.
Okay, cool. Boom, that's cool.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yep.
Like I said, he's the wizard of the group. Yeah.
This is his name is
totally sorry. That's Onai.
There. Gotcha. Yep. Cool.
And so the color choices and theme of the book was all Jose's choice with the fire everywhere. Sure, in the script there was invasion and there was some fire and stuff. But he was like, "That's going to be the color theme of the main part of the book." So
it looks good. Yeah. Here's your night scene, stars, the conversation, the dialogue.
That's them having a minute where they've got to deal with each other's differences, right?
Yeah.
Like you got the prince who's got this lowly ranger, and well. When you buy the book, you'll see. That's some of the juice. That's some of the meat of the main story. Is like those personalities kind of clashing and figuring out who is who and what are they going to do.
All right. So who's this badass? I like him.
Okay.
Who's this guy?
Yeah. So that he is a commander of the evil empire on the
he's
ground.
The bad guy.
He's the one. Yeah, he's the bad guy, and he's the one who you find out during the story, and especially spoiler in the third one that he's the commander of this troop that has attacked the village and all that stuff.
Okay. So is your story? Is it just 3 and it's over, or are you going to keep going?
No, I want it to be a series, and also with the Immortal Rising Tales, I want to have tie-ins as well to kind of explain some of the past stories and things that are mentioned. You know, like the next Tales, Immortal Rising Tales, I want to do is going to be explaining the god character of the cleric of the main party. I explain how it is that he became a deity.
Okay, cool. That's cool. This is the cleric,
it's so
right?
badass. Yeah, he's the cleric.
And this is the main character, the Elven Ranger?
Yes, Drake.
Yep.
He said, every time I hear him pronounce Onai. Yes, I know. Japanese Oni. I get it. But he is not Japanese. And you could pronounce it that way if you like. So it's okay.
This. That's cool.
Some people are like, oh, how do you pronounce Locutus? It's like, well, it's Locutus.
Right. Yeah. He's a good caught. Yeah.
And in fantasy, you could basically, you say it how you want to say it. Menzo Baranzan. I don't know.
Exactly. Dude, okay, here we go. Real quick. Menzo Baranzan, right? I like to say, I'm American, so I'm like, Menzo Baranzan. You know what I mean? The Dark Elf of the trilogy.
Yes.
How do you pronounce his last name?
Duerden.
Cool. I was in San Francisco. I lived there for like 4 years. And I was reading the books. And this guy was a coworker, because I worked in corporate office bullshit majority of my life. He was from the Philippines.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, well, hey, believe me, it's, what you do. Yeah. And so he was from the Philippines. There's a lot of Filipinos in San Francisco, at least at the time. This was a long time ago. Yeah. And I was telling about the story and all this shit. And I was like, okay, how do you pronounce this last name? He actually kind of knew. He's like, what? He said it was Do or Don. Like the last on was at like Do or Don. I'm like, really? Like Do or Don? I'm like, that's what. So because I was always like Durden, I'm like, is it Duerden? And everyone's like
just Duerden or even Doerden. Okay, that's fine.
But some of the fantasy names are so fucked up, and you're just like, I don't know how to pronounce them. I try not to do that. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I try to have fantasy names where you can see, okay, clearly it says this is how you pronounce it. But as soon as you start getting in the little commas and the fucking hyphens and shit, I'm like, okay, this is one of these names.
Well, I am a little guilty of that because the Dark Elves, the bad guys, they have a little bit of that influence, whereas it's supposed to sound or feel kind of like a Chinese deal, where I want it to feel foreign. I want it to feel a little alien.
That's perfect. Yep, that's perfect. Yeah. I see again, bouncing off D&D here, dude. I love you very much, but I don't know a single fucking character in the D&D realm who is more famous and inspirational, inspiring than fucking Drist, dude. Everyone knows Drist and loves him.
Yeah, he's clearly stand out as a icon of the genre, at least out of like the D&D stuff. So completely. In fact, I went to a Renaissance fair yesterday with my son and his friend. And,
cool, man. Where?
Here local. It was
like what state are you
in? I'm in Illinois. I'm in the Midwest.
I was born and raised in Ohio, so we were neighbors.
Oh, yeah. There you go. So anyway, we went yesterday, kind of spent a few hours, and he picked up some scimitars, and I was like, "Oh, dude, it's just like Drist." And he's not familiar with it yet.
Familiar. Yeah.
And so we watched some YouTube videos today so I could kind of explain. And then we found out that actually scimitars is not a good name for the sword, and there's actually like
of course,
sword, and we like got into the whole thing and everything. So, but he got like the quick lowdown on who Drist is.
That's cool.
It's pretty cool. It's fun.
Well, I just remember when those novels came out in the 90s.
Yeah.
And I bought them all.
He was huge. Everybody wanted to play a drow. Everybody wanted.
Well, and then there's the fucking nightmare. Is okay. So now you're DMing, and now everyone wants to play a good drow who left.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like he's fucking unique, people. It's like he's unique. There's no other drow who have a conscience and morals. That's the whole fucking point of this story. Is millions of drow have existed for however long. And
exactly,
dude. That's why he's got purple eyes. You know what I mean? It's like his eyes at birth were different, and they're like, "What the? Remember that was the first
that
sign
was
of
unique." Exactly. Yeah.
And
well, and in the end, his father Zach Nafayan proved to be good as well. So
there was I like Zach Nafayan. I thought he was cool. And again, I think a lot of the characters they didn't make them all chaotic evil. They're just
they're all psychopaths.
The fucking older sister was, and when he fucked her up, I was so happy. I'm like, thank God. It's like that bitch was constantly beating him. You know, I forget her name, but you know I'm talking about, the big one.
I went back and listened to the audiobooks on YouTube. Probably like around like back in January and shit. I don't remember the name either, but I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
she was described as a big woman, and she had the fucking cat of nine tail whip snake. What were those, like snakes or something? Remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
She's always whipping him and belittling him and just
being a bitch. Yeah,
treated him like shit. And
if anybody has had an abusive female in their family, you know exactly what that feels like,
dude. When that scene in that book where he snaps and gets the fuck out, and I think he chops her fingers up. Remember, he cuts the whip and her fingers go whip, and he could kill her.
I don't think that he actually hit her. I think he hit it the weapon, because they probably would have murdered him immediately just for her harming a female.
Exactly. But it was just so cool that at least he got back to her. Thank God, because she was such a bitch, man. And just everything he gets out and all that stuff. But I remember the father was cool. And you know who the other fucking character I thought was cool is that mercenary. You remember him?
Oh, Jarlaxle?
Jarlaxle. They always he had the short, tight vest and the six pack. He was like this like what gigolo model fucking mercenary. I mean, the way they described him is, he made sure he wore his vest high to expose his tight, abs. And I'm like, wow, this dude's he's like the fucking Jack Sparrow of Drow, you know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, he's like the 80s hair metal kind of dude.
Yeah, but Jarlaxle was fucking cool because he was almost like neutral. He was a drow and he had his crew, but he was
he was there to get through, right? Like he's gonna make his, and he doesn't care what the system is.
I love those merc bounty hunter types. I just fucking love them. That's like my favorite kind of character, where they're not with the necessarily bad and they sure aren't with the good. They're kind of doing their own thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was neat. That whole drow society was nuts because no one had ever done that. And
nobody. It was so brand goddamn new. The whole the description, the detail, all the description that Salvatore put into it. I mean, it's obviously it's lasted. So
I mean, I bought the box set of Menzo Baranzan for the game, and there's like 10 maps and
the Underdark.
And,
whoa!
I got it behind me. I'll have to. One of these, like I said,
Well, you have to come on
back on the show, or if you got a fucking show, come on there. We'll just talk D&D shit.
Because I do a group show on Friday nights with Jason Sandberg, who does Jupiter, and also with Craig, who does Soltac. And we kind of do like
I know Mad Ruth.
There you go. We do like a late night kind of show with guests. Is
that the Friday night?
You should come on. Yeah, you should come on for that. But also, for my own thing, I do a lot of tabletop kind of stuff. So
cool.
Yeah, we should have you on, and we'll talk all kinds of D&D nerd shit.
I can show you all sorts of shit. Like I said, I've got a stack of books here. I got all sorts of crap. But I have the Menzo Baranzan all the shit.
I'm jealous. The box set or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of shit, dude. I've got so much fucking D&D shit. It's crazy. So okay. Now real quick, this right here. I like this picture. What is this?
That is the original that I was telling you about, where it was done by another artist other than Jose. And actually that cover is the same artist, the mural artist who does my backdrop. He actually he did that cover for me because I lost track of the original artist and he never finished the cover. He gave me some quick sketches, but he dropped off the world. Anyways, so when I first printed them out, some friends from work, they bought a few copies and they CGC'd one for me. So I was able to get this 9.6 out of it. So pretty, so fun. Yeah, it's so nice of them too. As a gift, they gave it to me. But cool. So I'm selling that as an add-on. And that's for people who maybe you got a little extra. You want to contribute more than just say you bought the everything box or something. You want to contribute more cash because for some people, $100 is like $10. Yeah. So if you have the cash and you want it, I've only printed out 100 of them. I'm down to I'm 80 or under now with this campaign, and so I'm not printing them again. It will be a collector's saying in the future that the brand goes somewhere. Cool. Yeah, it's so cool because you get this the comparison, which is what you see here. You got the Jose on one side and Kofarosa on the other side. Yeah, it's the same story and everything, different artists, and you get to see their take on the same script.
That's cool, man. That's cool. Okay,
the people who have bought it really into it. They're like, it's so cool seeing the progression of the two and the difference in styles. Yeah, every artist has their own style, man. Mm-hmm. So, and then I go more into the ash cans to kind of give you an idea of what's going on in the stories. Yeah, and some pages. You have a lot of stuff to back here, a lot of stuff to give away. That's cool. A variety, nice variety of stuff. Awesome. All right, so we'll go down this real quick. Hold on a second. We got all sorts of stuff. Yeah, 9.6. Yeah, courteous. Yeah, it's so cool. I'm so happy to have that. It was such a great gift. Came out of nowhere. I did not expect that at all. That's cool. So here's all the tiers. Yeah, floppy. And so the floppies, I'm selling at practically at cost. So I wanted to have the first issue or the premium. I wanted you to have the full first story, like basically the first act. And so I'm selling the two floppies for $10. So basically $5 floppies plus shipping. So and that's if hey, I don't know this guy, talking about me. I don't know his style. I don't know if I'm gonna like it, all this other stuff. Great. Here is the minimum to jump in on everything. Gotcha. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Different floppy bundles and then the everything, which that's other than the bundle where you get the two premiums for $35. The everything box is the way to go. Cool. Yeah, it always is. Everything boxes. It's too bad more people don't do it, but again, it's especially now with shit. You know what I'm talking about. The economy. Everyone's tight, dude. Everyone's tight. Mm-hmm. Fucking, we're all tight. You know what I mean? So, sweet, dude. All right, man. So, is there anything else you want to talk about regarding your campaign? I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think we hit everything. I tried to go down and show everything. Because look at D&D shit, man. I'm into this. So I do want to say this though. So some of the feedback that I've gotten in different reviews and just from people giving me feedback who bought it and everything, I would say some of the best compliments I got was this feels like the beginning of a great campaign. So if you've ever played D&D, this is what it feels like a D&D campaign, which was the idea. That's cool. And then also, as far as the art goes, people are like, it's like reading, a Netflix anime. Like you're flipping because of the way that he composed the pages and just his style and everything. People are, it's like it lends itself to being adapted into a cartoon, a full action, whatever. And I'm like, yes, thank you. It's completely the idea. So if you like D&D, you like fantasy novels, Dragonlance, Forgotten Realms.
Yeah.
If you like anime, manga, you're gonna love Immortal Rising.
That's
like Final
cool.
Fantasy, you're gonna like
Yeah.
Immortal Rising.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that you can relate it to. A lot of stuff out there that people, because you see it all the time. This is a combination of Star Wars and Lord of the Rings, or whatever. You know what I mean? So it helps. If you can find a published work that you can relate it to, that can kind of clue potential backers in, give them a little rope.
A comparison. Yeah, I would say it's Castlevania meets Final Fantasy.
Yeah, there you go.
Only
that's cool.
Very unique. Everything about it is like nobody else is doing anything similar to this at all. So
yeah. Well, and again, I'm not. I guess I'm not fairly new anymore to this whole indie comics scene. But I'm not. I kind of started to just get into it about 4 years ago. It was around COVID. It was around the COVID. That's what I discovered. I never fucking knew any of this shit. It was like, so I came in. Oh wow! Look at all these independent comic creators, and oh wow, it's great. Look, everyone gets along fine, and then you start seeing they don't,
No, they don't.
and then you learn, and over and months go by, and a year, and then here we are. I'm like, I don't trust fucking anybody. It's like, I don't want to work with anybody. I'm like, I fucking don't know who to trust. You know what I mean? It's like 1 minute they're like this, and then they're enemy. I'm just okay. So it's like, so I have like I have like purpose. Sorry, I'm laughing.
And the whole culture of like the Mean Girl culture for some, not everybody,
not all,
but there is a Mean Girl culture with some creators, and it sucks. It detracts from the bottom line mission that I think that we're all trying to do. So, yeah.
I fly under the radar. You know what I mean, man? It's like you know that because you probably didn't know of me until recently, and I just that's almost intentional. I really don't like. I've never been on a show so if I come on your guys' fucking show, that's like the first show I've been on because I'm I'm not, and I know you. I know like I've seen you. Oh wait, and speaking of, weren't you on a show tonight before this?
Yes, I was on. What's her name? It's Pumpkin Prince is how I know her.
Okay.
Yes, she does. I think she does kind of like Iron Age guys and in indie and stuff like that because of some of the people that were in the chat and whatnot. So first time meeting her, but seemed really nice. Has your own Kickstarter and all that other stuff. So
cool.
Yeah. Actually, if you go to my Twitter, it'll be in my feed. Hit her up. I'm sure she'll have you on.
Dude, and that's my biggest I have many problems, but one of which, in addition to kind of flying under the radar, one reason why I haven't been on your shows because I don't fucking ask. Everyone I know all you fuckers do. Good for you guys, man. It's like you're aggressive. Like you DM me, hey, can I come on the show? And I was like,
yeah, definitely.
Do I know this fucking guy? And so I'm like looking into it.
Well,
that's what you do.
I can't remember who you had on or how I saw you, but I'm like, all right, well, so because I wasn't familiar with the name, the Aecentric. So I look into it and I go to your YouTube and it's like, wow, he's got really good views with having like 0 subs. That's really weird.
You mentioned that, and I'm just like, are we seeing the same numbers, brother? Because you're like, well, you have every video's over 40 views, and I'm like. Yeah, but it's 40. If it was 400, 4,000, okay. But according to you, I guess over 40 views. So, but this is because I have so small.
Over 10 is pretty damn good. Let's be real.
Really? I don't know.
In the Indiesphere, a lot of people, if you're not talking about drama or bitching about the corporations, you're not going to get a lot of views.
Yeah.
I think that some of that is probably with your branding, where it's Indiesphere, right?
Yeah.
And that I think that's got to be, and that you do on Sunday nights when like nobody else is streaming. So I think the combination of the two is probably really working really well for you because you'll get like 40 plus views on a video. So. Good for you.
I just thought maybe Out of my 49 subscribers, 40 were legit and watched every fucking night, you know?
Yeah, every time. That's fucking
joke.
amazing, first of
Anyone
all.
who's got YouTube knows that's a fucking joke. Out of my 49
Yeah.
subscribers, there's probably 5 that watch, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Twitter.
exactly. Maybe.
Yeah, I got 1,100 followers and
I mean,
about
drawing
10 are
10%.
real, you know?
Drawing on 10% of your subscription base is, I think you're doing really well. You know, that's
Okay.
roughly what I do. So yeah, I mean, you bringing in more than your subscription base. I'm like, how is that even possible? What is that? What are you doing?
Appreciate, dude. That's some good news because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, man. I'm just
as someone
winging
someone else who does, you know, YouTube streams and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Those are good numbers. So
Okay.
whatever you're doing, keep doing it.
Well, and again, I wanted the Sunday nights because that was one thing that was not accidental. I still think this is my views are accidental. I you know, because you know, Monday nights is this, and you see Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, okay. And I'm just like, okay, and this dude just goes back to fucking high school D&D shit, man. Because Sunday nights in the good old days, when the world was Monday to Friday and weekends off, right? Instead of now it's 24. You remember those days?
Yeah.
It was that what, dude? It was work was Monday. I mean, not there was still night jobs, but the majority of people function Monday to Friday, 8 to 5, 9 to 5. Friday night, fucking party, woohoo, and Saturday, Sunday, and then you're like, Sunday night sucks because fuck, Monday morning, whether you're in school or work, Monday morning suck. And so we played D&D on Sunday nights, right? Or like Sunday afternoon, we would do like, you know, 1, 2 o'clock, and then we go until dark, and we'd have to get home because you got to get ready to go to fucking school or whatever.
Right.
But Sunday night, because Sunday nights suck, because everyone's like dreading Monday morning, I'm like, well, you need something good on a Sunday night. If you just sit and watch fucking TV, you're just thinking, oh, fuck, I got to go to bed in 2 hours. But if you have something fucking fun that's an escape, which is what fucking D&D is, it's an escape from reality.
Oh, yeah.
Then it's over. You get home, you're fucking tired. You go to bed, you get up, and you go to fucking work or school, whatever you do. And I'm like, well, clearly YouTube is similar because no one's fucking doing shit on Sunday nights. It's probably because they'll have to go to work Monday. So I'm like, okay, well, I could do something Sunday night, you know, if there's people who are bored or lonely or depressed or whatever the fuck it is, well, fucking watch my show because it's Sunday nights. And I don't know.
Well,
that was the only thing that was
is
intentional.
streaming.
What's that?
Nobody else is streaming.
Yeah. And again, people are like, well, you know, Sunday nights is really dead. No one's streaming. I'm like, well, that's why I'm streaming because no one's streaming. There's no competition, first of all. And second of all, I guess I have a soft spot. I unfortunately have this empathy fucking problem that I need to dial back because sometimes it can get you into trouble. But I just keep picturing like, I don't know, fucking people who are bored or lonely or whatever the fuck it is. And if it's Sunday night, well, okay, here's some, you know, hippie dumbass you can make fun of if you want. I don't know. You know, it's like, you know, I don't know. Fucking, you know, have someone on like you, we can talk shit. And if you're in a D&D, well, here you go. You can join the conversation.
Hell yeah.
So that's the only reason why I did the Sunday night thing. But yeah, I have thought of switching nights, but it's like, I don't know, man. Sunday nights is cool for me and whatever. So anyways, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, sometime have me on the show and we can talk D&D shit and all sorts of stuff. So how are you feeling right now? Because it's been about an hour.
I mean, I feel great.
You want to go for a little bit more?
Yeah, that's fine. I just wanted to say, Curtis, he says, if you had to guess, how many issues do you think the story will take to tell? 5, 10, 20 bucks? So I have the general outline of the story that I want to tell with this batch of, you know, this party, right? I have it all written out. The problem is that one, it's pretty long. So I will have to go as I'm doing them. I'll have to trim them down to get down to the core of what I'm trying to say in each, you know, whatever. I want to say 10 books roughly would probably do that. And I think it will tie everything together. It will tell a full, complete story and also kind of lead into more stuff. So if it comes to that, you know, if I can keep this up for that long. So yeah, I would say roughly 10, you know, so that's why you got to get into it now
Yeah.
So that you're not trying to play catch up later on.
Yeah. And by the way, thank you for following chat and alerting me to that, because I suck at that. I feel like I'm because like right now there's 4 fucking screens open. I'm like, okay, there's this, there's YouTube, there's Immortal Rising, and there's all this shit, and I'm like constantly like, God bless her heart. Danny's in the chat, and I'm like, but she gave me shit like, oh, you're ignoring me in chat. I'm not fucking ignoring you. I'm like, I'm focused on the guests, and I've got 4 fucking screens. Yeah. And I felt bad. I'm like, no, I'm not ignoring you. It's like you don't understand how you're kind of like all over the place.
A lot going on.
And so some people, like when they're here, like the guest, they're really not paying attention to chat, you know? And I'm so focused on the guest, I basically forget to check the chat. Yeah. And so it's cool that, wow, you're a guest and you actually check the chat. So there you go, Danny. Are you happy now, Danny? I hope you're happy.
I consider the chat to be the other co-host or the other guest. So definitely got to interact with them. That's what they're here for.
I got to give Danny a hard time. I love her to death.
Yeah.
Danny is in Berlin, Germany.
Happy now.
And she is my biggest fan.
Stay safe.
Yeah. Well, don't even start, dude. But she just released a video today that she's been working on for like a month. It's my first fan, what do you want to call it? Fan video? I call it a fan video. As in she got my first book, and then she's back the second book and all this other stuff. And she has her YouTube channel. It's all about like mystery. It's called Danny Mystery Zone. And she likes stories of mystery and intrigue, but she likes horror. This woman knows horror like better than most guys. And I'm just like, wow. And anyways, long story short, this is Danny in chat. She kind of comes and goes because she's working on like 4 projects at the same fucking time. She's constantly this. But I just wanted to give a little tip of the hat to Danny. Yeah, because Danny takes time to come into chat. And I, unfortunately, sometimes neglect her accidentally, not on purpose. It's just because of how things are. And so it's cool that you caught the chat. Got it? Yeah. Okay. Now, back to the fun shit. So.
Wait. So I do want to say this. All right. So with your good, view to sub ratio.
Oh, yeah.
If you're watching this, hit the sub, hit the like.
Dude, you're a good promoter. You're good at this shit. Fuck, I need to hang out with you more.
This is what we got to do. People will be like, oh, well, I just want to wallow in my own, despair. Everything sucks right now.
Dude,
this is what we're doing here. We need you to buy. We need you to share. We need you to sub and like. We need that stuff. And that is how you fight back against the horse shit,
Yeah. I was just talking to Dan just a few hours ago because Danny and I talk back and forth all the time. And she was, she understand. I understand her frustration with YouTube because she just got monetized like a month ago. Finally, like she's been trying to get monetized for like 2 fucking years or something.
Yeah,
and she got monetized, and it's like she's finally over that hump. She finally got it. So now she's cranking out stuff every day because that's what you have to do. It's like
you got to.
Oh, good news is you're monetized. Bad news is you got to do this shit full time every day, or else numbers gonna drop, and then you won't be monetized anymore. So you better keep it up. So that's where she is. Okay. And actually, in fact, tonight when I'm done with this, I have to do a voice recording for her because Danny and I are working on a project together for her YouTube channel. Called the Danny Mystery Zone. And so she wants me to help like narrate this whole voice acting thing, even though like I don't have the best voice. Lucky me, I guess she can tolerate
it's pleasing enough to her, so that's nothing.
So that works for me. I'm like, hey, okay, can't be that all bad. So anyways,
exactly.
Dude, she's doing like 4 projects at once, and this one she finished it was just last night, so the video I put anyways, blah blah blah. Danny's really cool. What's my fucking point? I'm out to Mars and have to come back to Earth. This happens, Aaron. You got to help me out, bro, because I do this. If you haven't noticed, I will blah, 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 and I'm
you're doing fine.
And you got to rope me back in and say, "Hey, we were talking about." It's
bring it in.
So, anyways, okay. So YouTube, I appreciate it. That actually makes me feel better and gives me hope. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll keep at this because I am always like, is this worth it? But I tell people, I don't know if it's this way for you guys. To me, this is like therapy. Okay. Because every day at night, it's either writing, drawing, or making trailers. That's all I fucking do. I like write, draw, write, draw. That's all I fucking do. Right. And so on Sunday nights, I can kick back, talk with you, cuss and F this and F that, do whatever the fuck I want to do. It's like therapy. It's like venting. It's like, oh shit, I'm not like at the computer working or at the desk drawing or typing, it's just like, man, and so I am really not concerned about, algorithm and viewers and
me neither.
But you have a point. And like you said, Danny was complaining about, it's how hard is it to simply click the like button or subscribe or leave a simple comment? Great show. All that matters. It all helps.
Yeah, it means everything.
Isn't that amazing? Where it's just the simplest fucking thing can boost your channel and viewers and all this stuff. And what I keep telling people is I'm like, it's fucking free. I'm like, I'm not saying, hey, why don't you need to write a letter and stamp it and go to the post office and mail it to fucking YouTube? Yeah. And then they'll say, oh, Eccentric. No, dude, it's like you're in your fucking bed, half asleep. You just go click, click, click. You're done. That's it. I can't. What the fuck? How lazy are people nowadays? Do you understand my frustration, brother?
I completely do. Yes, dude, I completely do.
Is it really that difficult to click your fucking phone or whatever? That's how we are. So, anyways, I appreciate your YouTube positive feedback. So let's move to fucking D&D now, because I want to talk about D&D. Okay, so what is it? You said you played for almost 30 years or 20?
Yeah, since I was like, I don't know. Well, the first time I played D&D, I was 10. So, and then didn't play again for a couple of years because I played with my older brother. Right. When he first learned, and he was like trying to show me because he just learned.
Same as me.
Yeah, and then a couple years later, I was old enough to kind of get my own shit together. I was like 12, and then I had some friends. I was like, "Oh, let me show you how to play." You know how it is. And next thing you know, I'm playing with friends, and then it never stopped from there. And then you meet other people who play, it never stopped. There were gaps, like a year, whatever it was, where I didn't, we didn't really play. We were too busy drinking or being crazy teenagers or something. Yeah. But it never went far. If we didn't have anything else to do and we're all just sitting around, nobody wanted to watch a movie or play video games. Yeah, let's play some D&D. But now that I'm older, my friends, we're all older, and my table, some of them are, I think the youngest player, other than my son, actually plays now. He's 9, but other than him, we've got like a 21-year-old, and then the oldest player is, I think, 52. So like there's a nice age range in there. A couple of other ones in their 30s. So we all have like our basics set schedules. We're all we know what we're gonna do. So we'll play almost every weekend. In fact, this is the first weekend that I've had off in, I don't know, like a couple months. So it's nice to be able to have a consistent group. It makes all the difference. That's how I'm able to make and have continuous storyline for so long, because we've all contributed. All of those high level characters, they contribute to the overall setting. And you'll see that in the comics as this brand matures and expands. You're going to meet a lot of those kinds of characters and stuff.
That's cool. So out of all the years you've been playing, is there one event, scenario, adventure, like one thing in particular, like I'm saying, like a battle or a situation that was like better than everything else? Like the one thing out of all this thing that you're like, this was the craziest fucking shit we ever dealt with. You know what I'm saying? Did you ever have something like that?
Yes. Sorry, I was trying to share my YouTube, but it won't let me. My YouTube link. So Danny, you can go to the YouTube search, type in Immortalizing Comics, and it should bring up my channel. So I have got like 250 videos. I've been interviewing and all this other stuff. There for a while, I would do like pop commentary, and then it was like, wait, I don't even participate in pop culture anymore. And then so I started doing genre based on guests, and then I've done a few reviews and stuff like that. And now we do like a late night show, like I was saying, on Friday nights with Jason and Craig. So yeah, go sub me, and it wouldn't be too hard. And you go look at some of my past videos, because there might be some genre talk in there that you might like. So yeah, but I'm sorry, you were talking about most significant kind of battle or something that happened. I would say yes, there is, and it was an incredibly epic battle that happened at the end of second edition. That right when I think I was mentioning earlier, it was like it felt like we had done everything that we could with second edition, and it was and the table was kind of like at a point where, are we going to keep staying as a table, or are we going to kind of break off because of life? And it was like this battle. I don't know, how do I describe it? It was like all of the in-game, magics and all that stuff I put into a like a Hydra Chimera. Like all of our epic characters, I'd say there's probably 5 or whatever epic characters. We were above the planet, right? Like like down below is space and the planet. We're in orbit of it. We've got this crazy epic demon monster. It's doing all of the like 9th level spells as innate powers. Like demons are being summoned in. Angels are being summoned in. There was this one character who had this armor that had been constructed. He was like a cleric of all the gods, right? And the armor gets what was it? What's the name of that? Not disjointed. Basically, I can't remember the name of it. Mordecai disjunction. His armor gets disjunction. We roll that percentile to see if it's destroyed. It gets destroyed. Wow. Roll the percentile to see if that attracts any major power that is involved with the construction of it. Okay. That actually triggers a god to appear. So we have like gods coming into the battle. Wow. We've got epic, like that was the send off. And that battle alone took us probably like 6 sessions. And a session can be hours easily. Yeah. And it was the best. It was the best. That's cool. And after that, it set up. It kind of it solidified the new pantheon, because some of those characters became gods out of that battle. Wow. That's cool. There was like motherfuckers who like died. Angels paralyzed. Like, how do you paralyze demons? And like, I don't know. It was all of the top of everything all at once. That's cool. So like a completely crazy epic battle that involved gods and angels and demons. Yes. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, and we don't normally go that far for that long. Right. But that was it. And it was perfect, cool, man. Because it was right at the end of second edition, where second edition was a little bit more crazy. We weren't as rule lawyery as we got when we got into 3.5. So yeah, it was just balls to the walls. It was so fun. That's cool. Still talk about it. Yeah. And it's neat that you have a group, like a consistent group, because for me, it was like 2 separate groups. It was literally my high school group and then my college group. And then the college group, fortunately, existed beyond college for a little while. Nice. And then that was it. But to this day, I still talk to about 2 or 3 of the college friends who played. It's bonding experience, and this. It's like something about D&D. Just you bond with people, and it just kind of lasts. It could last throughout the rest of your life. I don't know, but I had nothing but good experiences with D&D, and I remember as a kid. The whole Satanism crap and it's satanic. Panic.
Yeah, Satanic Panic, and then, so is heavy metal. Okay, well, great. I love heavy metal and D&D, so I must be a Satanist. At 11 years old, I'm a little Satanist. You know what I'm saying?
Late 80s, early 90s. Yeah, exactly. That's when I got into it. Was beginning of the 90s, and that was when second edition was having an explosion of popularity. That was kind of the tail end of the Satanic Panic, where Tom Hanks was making his dungeon movie where like people were let off
Mazes and Monsters.
Yeah.
My brother read that book. My brother pulled me into D&D when because he's a few years older than me. Yeah. So he was into D&D like when he was whatever, I don't know, 11, 12, 13, young. Because Tolkien, he loved Tolkien. See, when we went to high school, Tolkien was required reading.
Okay.
We had to read The Hobbit, right?
Yeah.
And then, of course, if you're into The Hobbit, you look into Tolkien, you're like, oh, wow, there's these Lord of the Rings book. Okay, I'll read these, because that was my brother, so I got into Hobbit. It was cool, but Star Wars was my shit. I was in love with Star Wars. So D&D was the second love, right? Because I was 100% Star Wars as a kid. Well, when D&D came about, my brother was into it. He got me into it. So I started playing at age 11 or 12 with his group. I remember walking to his friend's house at night, and there's all these guys older than me, my older brother and his friends.
Hell yeah.
And my brother was kind of easing me in, say, can he handle it? Does he understand it? And blah, 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 blah,
right.
You know what I mean? And because I was an artist, he's like, you'd make such good maps and drawings. In fact, the first customer I ever had, the first paying customer, was my older brother for D&D. When I was like 11, he's like, can you draw me a picture for my module I'm DMing? And here's the monster manual. Monster was a carrion crawler. And he's like, can you just have a guy fight him in a cave or something? So I was like, sure. He paid me $5 or something like that. But dude, I have that picture somewhere in a fucking box, and I have to find it because it's a drawing I did when I was like 11. It's for D&D. So my first paid commission was a D&D drawing for
that. Hey, that works. You know what I mean? That's awesome. That's a great story.
Yeah, but so I got into it young, and then I don't know, something just clicked. I just was like into it, and so then at like age 12 or 13. I got my 3-4 friends together and we started playing, and then it went to 6 friends, and it's high school. And then it went to college, and that's where the shit went down. It became like a fucking cult, dude. My college friends were addicted to the game. It started to get scary for me because I was like you, I'm the DM, right? Like I'm the DM. And every once in a while there was another player who played a cavalier. He was the poor bastard who was the lawful good player. They're always fun, you know what I mean? And a group of thieves and fucking barbarians and shit. And this fuckers, oh, dude, we were all fucking thieves, barbarians, rogues, mercs, fucking you name it. And this fucking guy was the lawful good knight, the cavalier. It was just like,
whoops.
It was so fun because there was, talking about conflict. Holy shit, there was.
Look that way. Don't look over here because I'm going to be over here. You should look that way.
So he was the other DM. Unfortunately, he had as much experience in DMing as I did, but he came into the group. I don't know. He was like the 5th person to join. And I was already, the story was already set. I'm already DMing and stuff. So he just became a player. But I was like, dude, if I can have a break, then I can play a character and you can DM. And so that's what we did. So it was I was like DMing 80% of the time. He would do once in a while. But when he DM'd, then I got to play my character, which was cool because it was the character I created when I was 12 years old. Right.
Nice. Yeah.
And he had, I kept him alive and well, and his levels advanced. And of course, now that an 18-year-old college student who knows everything, right? Because we knew everything at 18, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Now I can mature him. He's not a 12-year-old version's character. He's an 18-year-old version character. And so it was fucking cool, you know what I mean? But dude, the college group was nuts. It was like, here's the perfect example. We had 3 girls play with us. I had a group of me and 8, so 9 of us, right?
Damn, that's a big
I'm
group.
DM. It got to 12. I had to split the fucking group in half, get the other DM to take I think I did. What was it? Like I took 6. Yeah, I don't know if it was 6 and 6 or 8 and 4, but I was more experienced than the other DM. But I said, dude, this is stupid. 12 people. You know how long it takes to do one fucking round of battle with 12 people? You know this.
Yeah.
It was like an hour to do one round of battle.
Forever. Yeah.
So I said, we're splitting the group in half. I said, you take the fucking people, and I'll take the original people. And that's we did that. We had to do that for a while. So, but at the time of the 9 of us, where it was me and 8 players, 3 were girls. So you had 5 guys and 3 girls. And one of the girls was a high school cheerleader. I shit you not. Her name was Patty. She was a cheerleader junior and senior year in high school. So she was fucking good. She was a best looking girl in our group. Okay.
Yeah. Pretty athletic.
Yeah. Athletic, long, curly, dark hair. Just a party. She was fucking cool. Patty was cool. Okay.
And played D&D.
Okay. So, and she'd never played before. They were hanging out with us, partying, and everyone talked and pictures on pictures. No, what's this? And that's how people get interested, and they're like, "Well, can I try? Oh, fuck yeah, sure. If it sucks, then don't do it.
Yep.
But you may like it." Well,
never told somebody no. Never did.
Oh no. The girls loved it. These 3 girls loved it, and it was literally Patty, who was in reality like the cheerleader, party girl. Okay. And then I had a girlfriend at the time who was very artsy. Her name was Heather. So she was like the weird black fingernail kind of fucking shit. You know what I mean? She, of course, played a fucking thief or something. And then we had Mary, who was a cleric. Dude, she was like a bookworm. I mean, little glasses, straight. She was so good. She never cussed. And I'm like, you're a cleric, Mary. I said, if I've ever fucking met a cleric player, you're the fucking cleric. So Mary was a cleric, and it was just perfect because you know what I mean. So the one night, it was a Friday night because this is college. So we're making about fucking Friday night. We can do all nighters, Saturday into Saturday night into Sunday. You know what I'm saying? So Friday night, right? Patty, right? The cheerleader, the party girl. Okay. It's Friday night, and I'm at the guy's house where we're playing D&D. And Patty had a fucking date. It's Friday night, college. Okay, she had a date,
Nice.
And she's like she's on the phone and stuff, and and she cancels the date. And I'm like, what are you doing, Patty? I'm like, did you just cancel your date tonight? And she looks at me and like, yeah, it's D&D, and walks away. And I'm like, that's when I knew. I'm like, oh fuck, this is serious. This fucking chick canceled a date in college to play fucking D&D with us. And so that's when I was like, man, this is serious. These people are getting hooked. You know what I mean?
Oh,
yeah. Actually, I loved it. And I made it worse, of course. I made them even more addicted. You know what I mean? So college was nuts, dude. So we could talk more D&D shit sometime.
I love that. I love those weekends because I remember them well.
All-nighters were the best.
You could play Friday into Saturday. And everybody, maybe people would even not stay the night, right? Because sometimes people would just crash out on couches or whatever, and then wake up and you play again, right? And
I thought, dude, totally. I thought we were because we had on our 3rd year of college, we got a house, a Victoria era house, dude. It had 12-foot high ceilings. The doorways were 10 feet high. It was this Victorian mansion, but it was in a bad part of town. We didn't give a fuck, so it was cheap as shit. Dude, there's 5 of us living there on the lease. And then at any given weekend, there's 4, 5, 6 more people because we had D&D all-nighters. And I remember waking up in the morning with full ashtrays because, everyone's drinking and smoking.
We have very similar stories.
I think so, dude. Beer cans everywhere, fucking weed and ashtrays and fucking bowls, fucking full ashtrays. And I'm an OCD
empty
clean
pizza
freak.
Box. Yeah.
Oh, dude, and the smell, the old pizza and smoke and weed and
beer,
BO, and I'm just Christ. And so I started cleaning up the fucking stepping over bodies. They're snoring. They're by the vents of the heater because it's cold, and so they're huddled by the heater vents in the floor. You know what I mean, dude? It was and it was just like this gang. It was crazy. It was almost like a little cult or a coven. And they would wake up, get yourself together, and fucking noon on Saturday after playing all Friday night. Now we're playing all Saturday and into Saturday night. And then if on Sunday, well, I don't have to be home until dark, so we can keep Sunday.
Yeah,
dude.
I've got like 5 hours. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
The weekends were, dude. You could get so much done because it's like, man, when you play Friday night for 6, 7, 8 hours, all day Saturday, all Saturday night, and then half of Sunday. Dude, that's a lot of fucking hours.
A lot of damn D&T. Yeah. I don't know. We had some epic ones where it was just like, I don't even remember all of it. Which is actually how Immortal Rising started. I was like, I need to make a timeline. I need to write down notes because I started having over time some of the players. I'm like, guys, you guys can DM too. I don't have to be the forever DM. And so as long as we don't break continuity, and we had all played long enough, we were like, they agreed. Yeah, we don't want to break continuity. We don't know. It's like, you can DM, but just don't like completely change everything and ruin everything that's been before. Yeah. And we're all good. And they were fine with that. And now after about 10 years of us switching off between like 3 of us DMing, man, some of the stuff, I'm so glad that I was able to pass off the responsibilities of the DM to other guys, because not only did I get to play, but also I got to see their imaginations and what they were going to do with what we had, or have. And it's so fun, it's a great creative outlet for all of us, like we'll get together, especially now that we're older, because you're talking about like, in your early 20s or whatever. Now that we're older, it's like, I'll grill food, kids, the kids will come over and play and with each other out in the yard and stuff like that, and it's just so fun because we might not even we'll talk about like what's going on in pop culture or at work or family and stuff, but we're still playing, and we may not be completely focused on the game. Maybe those two over there are kind of like with the DM, and then this player over here, and they're talking and stuff. It's just a great way to come together as friends, and even if a couple of my friends are mostly D&D friends, it's still cool to get together and hang out and share things and be through all these experiences together. I know it's all imaginary, but that's so fun. Like man, when you roll a crit miss or a crit hit right when you need it to be a crit, or whatever, everybody's like, whoa, those moments are so fun.
Did you ever have such intense battles, situations where a player's hand is shaken before he rolls the dice?
I had, yes, and where everybody's watching, right? Because like we kind of do is like you just roll in the open, like there's nobody really covers.
Same with it, same with it, dude. As DM, the DM screen. I just said fuck. Because I start rolling in front of the players, and to establish trust, because it's so easy to cheat, you know what I mean?
It's so easy to just fudge your dice. No, I started that as a DM. I'm like, I don't use a screen. I haven't for a very long time. I'm just gonna roll right in front of you assholes, so you can see that you are fucking dead, and I did not just kill you because you didn't bring pizza or something. No. I rolled the dice, and your ass is dead, and that's just the way it works. So yeah.
But many times.
It makes trust, so then they know that I'm not lying.
So many times a player, because my games were very intense. They got real. Call me a sick bastard, but I started to fuck with them psychologically, like secretly. Like the way I started to plan adventures and all this kind of. I wanted to I found I knew they were friends of mine, so I kind of knew their personal background and family situations. So I would kind of fucking get them in situations that would tap that little fucking hidden secret or fear. You know what I'm saying? I love that. And that's probably why they became so fucking addictive, because it was like reality. But that was the difference. And that's what drew people in, because when we played, this was college, not high school. High school was simple. High school was classic D&D. Oh, the geeky kid with glasses is the 6-foot barbarian who's huge and muscular. Okay. In college, I was like, okay, the rule is you play yourself. You look like you, same height, same weight, same fucking hair color, eyes.
Yeah.
If you're from, like my girlfriend at the time was this was in Ohio. I was born and raised in Ohio. And then I moved to Hollywood and all these other fucking places. And I've been all over the West. And now I'm in fucking North Carolina. So anyways, back in Ohio, my girlfriend at the time was playing. And she was from Pittsburgh, right? So her character's hometown was called Steelburg because what do they do in Pittsburgh? It's fucking steel town.
Steel.
So she just twisted. Okay, so I'm from Steelburg in this game. And we all did that. Like I was born and raised in a little suburb called Oakwood in Ohio, which is outside of Dayton. So all I did was throw an EN on Oak. And so my characters, who was a ranger, by the way, he was born in the village of Oakenwood, right? You see how it's so fucking easy. You just take names and you just fucking add letters or take something away, switch around. Okay, so now you're basically in this familiar world because you're from all these, okay? And now you're playing you more or less, like not exactly, but it's based on you. It's basically you in this world. Like if you were born in this time, not like transported from reality to if this exists, if this other world exists, this alternate world reality, and you were born there and raised by parents and all this shit, this is you. And that's what I would explain. So then as an artist, I drew character cards. So I'd say, okay, I got to have a photo. They give me their high school class photo. And then I would draw them as their fucking character in armor and weapons and all this bullshit.
Nice.
And these cards were about like this. In fact, I have one. I'll show you sometime. But they're about this big color. So we would line them up along the wall. So this was at college in a public little hangout room that was. So when other college kids were walking by, they would see all these characters lined up on the wall and all of us sitting around this table and playing and shit. Anyone who knew D&D was just like, oh, they're playing D&D. Wow, this is cool. And I remember that it was the Cavalier. I told you about the Cavalier, the lawful good guy.
Yeah.
He was one of these people who was walking by on a Friday night with a beer in his hand and all this shit. And he stopped. He's like, holy shit, they're playing D&D. And he told me this. He said, dude, he's like, so I'm watching you guys play D&D through the glass. And I'm looking at those pictures. I'm like, oh, wow, he drew people's characters. He's like, but then I started looking at the players. I'm looking at the cards and look at the players. He's like, holy shit. The players. He drew them to, and this is this guy and this is this girl. So he could see their fucking characters look like them. So he comes in and now he's sitting there watching, all interested. You know what I mean? And eventually he joined. You know what I mean? So I basically told him, I said, you got to play yourself in D&D world, D&D time. And I think that's what made it so fucking addictive and psychological because, like, dude, when the girls went down, they would cry. I remember my one girl, she fucking stormed out of the apartment. She's bawling in a fucking parking lot, and I'm just like, man. And I'm like, Patty, go fucking talk to me. We can resurrect you. Yeah. And I'm like, listen, it's a game. You got to calm down and relax. But now we have a new adventure, and that adventure is let's raise her from the dead. You see what I'm saying? People were so attached. The girls would break down and cry. The fucking guys, when it was like one of those classic, they got fucking 7 hit points left, and they're battling some big fucking thing with an axe who's doing 30.
Fucking sweat,
Dude, they wouldn't even sit. They'd be standing up at the edge of the table and their dice, and they're shaking, and they're and they're like, and they're blessing the dice and fucking break. And everyone's watching, and the whole group's like, "Oh fuck, please!" And they are like literally just freaking the fuck out. And like when they roll, they make it. And the one time the dude jumped up on a chair on the table, fucking fell on his head. I mean, everything went boom all over the fucker.
Cow.
And he jumps up laughing. I'm okay. Dude, it was like one of those things where you wish you would have had it on camera because it would have gone fucking viral. And like, what are these fuckers doing? This is a game. It was that serious. And so that's when I realized that you can take a escape from reality fantasy game and it can start like the Mazes and Monsters. Remember Mazes and Monsters? And he started to go fucking nuts and started to believe it was real. I basically experienced that with my group. and saw how that could easily happen. And I have to say, I loved it.
Yeah, it's nice when they get involved like that.
It's crazy, man. So anyway, that's well, I just want to. It's been an hour and 45 minutes. Congratulations, dude. You're hanging in there. So we can wrap this up now because, like I said, we're going on 2 hours.
We're gonna have to get back together, so that's fine.
You know, we've connected now. You DM me anytime. Like I said, let me know. This next week for me is really screwy in this next week. So like give me like a couple weeks, 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks about any show stuff, you know, like check with the other guys, make sure they're cool. So, hey, we're bringing in this crazy fucker. You know, who are you?
No,
you know?
I told them, hey, I'm gonna go on your show, and they were like, and I was like, so their idea is they want to have people on the show who also have shows that they can maybe go on later. And I mentioned you, and they were like, yeah, it's, you know, fine, drop the idea to them. And so we'll figure it out. Just
figure it out, and I'm free to do whatever. But like I said, yeah, man, I'll behave. I won't cuss like I do here because
I'm the bad influence on the show, so you're okay.
Well, you know, like this is why I like this, because I'm relaxed. I can do whatever the fuck I want, and if you don't like it, fucking leave. You know, it's that simple. No offense, but you know, this is how I do it. But other people's shows, I respect their whatever the hell. If you don't cuss, cool. That's cool with me. If you want me to wear a fucking stupid hat, I guess. You know what I mean? It's your rules, man. So I respect that. And that's why I kind of haven't been on other people's shows. And like I said, I don't ask. I'm not like, hey man, like what you guys do is what I should be doing, but I don't. I'm just weird that way. I suck. I'm a little introvert that way. You know, I'm like, well, if I'm invited, like, okay, you just invited me. I'm like, sure, I'll fucking come on your show. But if you wouldn't have invited me, I wouldn't be like, hey man, if you got room sometime, have me. You know, and what all it does is it hurts me, because it means, you know, people don't see
you gotta just put yourself out there.
I know. I have an issue with that. So I appreciate the invite, and yes, I'll come and hang out sometime, and we can talk about whatever. And just
we do the Friday night. I do the Friday night show with them. But, you know, I also do like my own kind of thing when time permits, kind of stuff.
Well,
so
whichever one, I don't care, man.
I think it was last Wednesday. So before I got on co-hosting with them, I had co-host Chris Fisk of Infinitel Chronicles. He was my co-host for like a year and a half, something like that. And we had a couple guests on, and we were just talking about like his, you know, experience at a convention, you know, and you know, we were just talking about that just out of nowhere. Nothing really planned or scheduled, and it worked out well. So
cool. So real quick, Curtis here says he's never played D&D, but I did go through a Magic the Gathering phase. Did you ever do Magic the Gathering?
I didn't. There's a couple of players at my table who used to bring their cards. So like in downtime, they'd sit there and do a duel or whatever.
Right.
But no, I never did get into Magic the Gathering.
I called it Cliff Notes for D&D. I'm like, you fucking cards? I said, dude, there are
it's just battle, from what I could tell. It's just like, you know, doing battle ability battles, and which is fine, nothing wrong. But
I get it, sure. But it's like, dude, if you've never played D&D, you don't know what the fuck you're missing. It's like there are books. There's so much stuff in D&D, so much material that they have out there to enhance the game, and it's so complex. How can you summarize that in a fucking card game? And so I was almost like insulted, like, are you shitting me? You're breaking D&D down to a fucking card game? That's like an insult, man. So there's a friend of mine who's he's younger, whatever, 30 or whatever. He's in a Magic the Gathering, and I'm like, dude, just fucking play D&D. I'm like, if you understand Magic, you would fucking love D&D, and they would. It's like
play
an upgrade. Yeah, it is. It's like an upgrade. It's like, okay, if you start at Magic the Gathering, it's like kindergarten level, and then graduate to fucking high school, which is D&D. I mean, you know what I mean? But, you know, he has it, so whatever. But anyways, so, okay, I guess that's it for chat. Everything's cool. Anything else you want to mention? Like I said, you know, your campaign is still going on another 16 days.
Yes. Go buy the book now, because, you know, go back me now, because at $4,000, I will be adding another chibi. So at 3,500, that unlocked the stretch goal to get the Empress as a chibi sticker. At $4,000, that unlocks the ogre to be as a chibi sticker. So help us help all of us get to the $4,000 mark, and let's see some of those really cool. Because if whoever backed my first campaign, I put a lot of extra cash into doing the chibis sticker. There's like 7 of them. So I love those. They all love those. And I want to have that on this campaign as well. At least a few of them, right?
That's cool. That's cool. Well, like I said, I don't have a huge audience, but maybe you'll pick up a backer or 2 this week or something like that.
Yeah.
It's something will happen.
I appreciate the opportunity, and meeting you has been cool. You're
man.
cool as dude. So
well, I appreciate it, but like I said, it's kind of in our comics arena, the whole fantasy stories. It's definitely they're more rare. Yeah, superheroes is the most common. Sci-fi is probably the second most common.
Yeah,
modern day guns and fucking army guys and mercenary. All that shit is main. This whole fantasy medieval D&D thing is like, man, there's maybe like 5 of us. You know what I mean? There's that many.
That's what I lean into on my usual show. Is that's all like I also have tabletop indie tabletop guys creators on my show regularly. Indie novel fantasy writers on my show regularly.
That's cool.
So yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to cater to that.
Yeah, dude, I think there are more medieval fantasy novelists than comics. You know what I'm saying? Don't you agree?
Easily.
I see tons of fucking AI art of these awesome fucking, fantasy things, and it's a cover for a book, and it's a fucking 300-page novel. So yeah, I do think novels has a lot of the fantasy genre where comics not so much. So much. Again, like real quick, like okay, so there's you and there's me, and Corey was it Corey Barton had the one? Is it Corey Barton?
Well, Corey Barton or the Barton brothers have Cordrath.
No. And then Andy Smith has.
No, I'm sorry. Andy Smith has Cordrath. Theirs is Kozor. That's it.
Kozor. Yeah, Kozor. Okay, so Kozor's Barton brothers. Cordrath is Andy Smith.
Dragon Rage is Jimmy Reyes.
And
then Blade and Sword and Blood, I think. That's Richard Embry.
Oh, I know Richard. His Blood and Sword,
Blood and Sword, yeah. And there's maybe another one out there.
That's like 5. So basically it's like 5 or 6 people. Yeah, but you see what I'm saying? It's like it's not like 20, 30, 40 campaigns.
I realize that fantasy comics is it's like a niche within a niche. I totally get that. That's why I also try to sell to tabletop. I'll go on tabletop shows. And
that's
talk
cool.
Just like we are, and I'll make sales that way too. So if you want to branch out, that'd be a great way to do it.
I found a promoter on Twitter it's a TTRPG guy who every Wednesday and Saturday show me what you're doing in your campaign or whatever. So I just 2 weeks ago started.
Who is it?
Shit.
Is it T-shirted historian? Might be T-shirt or Diversity and Dragons. They're pretty good.
Give me a second here. Sorry, man. My Twitter's on my phone, not on my PC. I don't want to pollute my fucking computer because all my Photoshop and drawings and everything on my PC, the memory, the fucking the bar is red. You ever see that before on a PC where you're like, your storage. Dude, my bar is red because it's under 20 fucking gigs. And they're like, I'm like, oh, Christ.
Need more.
So I'm like, I don't fucking need shit like Twitter on mine. Okay, so give me 1 second. I'm trying to find my latest post that I did in this fucking guy and get his name. But it's a TTRPG thing here.
I just want to know if I know him.
Man, I may have to DM you it because give me 1 second. It was fucking 3-4 days ago. But he did like the post and a few others. I got him. Here we go. Okay. Wow. Rakdos Battle Map. Ever heard of him?
Okay. No, I have not heard of that one.
Here,
does he
hold
do
on.
shows?
Hold on.
If he does shows, maybe I should.
I'll DM you his shit.
Yeah. Nice.
Rack though he does maps. He does these intricate fucking maps for basically D&D and shit.
That's its own thing. Like there's whole map making guys. So
I'll tell you what. I'll just fucking at one of his posts. Whoops to you. Yeah, when I get off here. Yeah, see what I'm saying? I don't fucking do too much shit at once.
Damn ads.
When I get off here, I'll get on Twitter and I'll fucking send you one of his posts and then you can follow him and all this shit. But he's just, again, I'm just trying to find promoters who are like, every Wednesday and Saturday, show us your shit. And I'm like, okay, well, clearly, as we know, there seems to be an issue with that in indie comics. There's not a whole lot of fucking promoters anymore. And
yeah.
It's just it's obvious.
And then it's like it's very tribal. So it's like, well, don't
even get me started.
I worry. It's like, well, you associate with that person, or you associate with. It's like, yeah, but I'm not them.
So, why do you think I'm under the radar, dude? I've been watching this and taking names and watching events from quietly, invisibly for 4 fucking years. I've seen all the shit. I know every faction of facets of groups of tribes of cliques and all this bullshit. And the thing is I'm cool with all of them. Like I don't have a fucking problem with any of them, right?
Yeah.
But it makes me not want to socialize with indie creators and everyone, because it's like there's so much shit involved in this fucked up community. I mean, it's not even worth it. And so it hurts me because I stay under the radar and I don't go on shows and talk too much and stuff. And it's hurting my campaigns. No one knows who the fuck is this guy, So I'm like, okay, well, you're going to have to try to get out and do a little bit, but I don't want to deal with this shit, man. I do not want to deal with the bullshit arguing and the fucking, we all see it. We know it's the elephant in the fucking room. And I don't like talking about it, but it's just like, yeah, dude, it sucks. And so, it's like, well, okay, if the indie comic community is divided and it's hard for new creators like us or not big creators, not the smaller creators to get promotion finding shows because no one's really doing it unless you're in a tribe or some fucking thing. It's like, well, then we got what's our other options? And like for you and me, man, D&D, role playing, right? So if there's role playing accounts who are willing to promote you, we, like you and I, and the few others, we can easily fit in the genre because I'm like, okay, I have maps in my book. I have fucking artwork of fighting demons and dungeons and shit in my book. So this counts as role play. So yeah, it's a graphic novel for role players. And so that's what we got to do, So yeah, I'll send you this guy's shit. And if you come across role playing accounts who do this kind of thing of promoting, role players and D&D shit, send them my way too, because I'm
like T-shirt
running out of options.
He'll have comic guys on that their comics don't have anything to do with like fantasy necessarily. He just likes to promote indie guys. So
that's cool. Send me his whatever. And I'll send you this guy, this map guy, because again, it's just, and you want that what do you call it? That like repetitiveness, that where it's like, some are like, well, you don't know if they're going to ask to post this week or not. It's just random, But then there's those others who are like every Wednesday, every Friday. And you can see, they're fucking, they stick to it. They're
every time. Yeah.
What's the word I'm looking for, man? They're
consistent.
Where, every Wednesday and Saturday, they say, hey, let's see your shit. That's what you want. You want the consistency because then people are going to become familiar with your whatever. And I remember this fucking guy. He posted Wednesday, and let's see you see what I'm saying. That's how.
Yeah.
All right, Aaron, man. Cool hanging with you. We hit 2 hours now. Congrats. I'm glad you're not bored and be like, get me the fuck out of here. I'm bored.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Yeah. So man. Again, we'll talk.
We'll be in touch. Don't worry.
And let me know about your end. I'll let you know about my end.
So thank you very much, chat, for hanging out this long as well and throwing some questions and commentary in there. It's awesome having a good chat. And thank you for letting me on to talk to your chat and your audience.
So, man.
And obviously with you, I did not expect to have quite as many similar stories or memories.
Dude,
so
we're just getting
it was a good
started.
treat.
Like I said, have me on this other show, and I'll pull out, dude. I'll pull out like I said, dude. I mean, dude, I put the books here in a pile next to me specifically for you. You know, Ranger's Handbook.
Whoa, look at that.
Fighter's Handbook.
Haven't seen those in a while. Look
The
at
complete
you.
book of elves.
And the elves.
Equipment, arms. I fucking love this. The drawings in this are so fucking cool. There's so much cool shit in here. I mean, like,
I had all of those. That's crazy. Yeah, it's been a while.
And here's your fucking drow. You talked about, where was I? Just saw him. This dude, check this shit out. You remember this?
Yes, that's like, was that like he's like a gnome or a dwarf or something, right?
No, gnomish workman's leather.
Gnomish.
It's like 50 fucking pouches. It's like all over the place. Here you go. Here's your drow.
There's the drows.
Yeah.
There we go.
So, you know, and then like I said, I have the original
classic second edition right
there. I have the original DM's guide. Look, electrical tape.
Oh, there we go.
Is how old this is, dude.
A real played book has tape on it.
Electrical tape on the monster manual. And then I got, you know, this is good condition. And this is still good condition.
Whoa, whoa, that's a classic. What about the deities and demigods book? You got that one?
Bam, baby.
Bam.
Electrical tape.
Yeah.
The old fucking deities and demigods. But it's like so fucking nicked up and shit. But yeah, dude, these books were printed. I mean, it's like fucking 78, 79, 80. It's crazy. So it's like, yeah, and this is nothing. This is just the books. This isn't modules and fucking artwork and all sorts of bullshit. Like, I have my original dice. You know, this is from when I was 12 years old. So these dice are over 30 fucking years old. You know, I have like all this shit. I got fucking all the dice. This was my 20-sided. This fucking thing got double D's. So many times the players tried to like throw this dice away. They hated it because it just kept rolling. They're like, we got to get rid of his fucking dice. It keeps hitting 20s and shit. Yeah. And then, you know, we were into fucking crystals. So I have like hematite in my bag, and here's a tiger's eye. We were into all the weird shit, man. So yeah, dude, I'm an old school fucking veteran D&D guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, have me on sometime. If you want to talk D&D, we can talk about it.
For sure. That sounds like a blast.
All right, man. Well, Aaron, thanks for coming on and hanging out for 2 hours. And
Thank you.
man, your campaign looks cool. The D&D stories are cool. Everything's cool. So I'm just gonna end this with one of my fucking trailers, and you can, you know, take off and do whatever. But just get with me, and tonight I will send you this account, this map fucking guy, so you can check that out. Right. And thanks to the chat. Thanks everyone.
Thanks, Kurt. I appreciate it.
Have a good evening, everybody.
Later on.
Later, man.
Are you an angel?
I heard your prayer, Sarah.
I think the church's prayers have gone unanswered.
God stopped listening to us a long time ago.